Because this small town is full of the descendants of the proletariat, they are not only extremely twisted in their thoughts, but also treat murder as the best entertainment. But there are a few who are not afraid of death to come here. 2 archers, with 4 young men, planned to come here for labor reform. Unexpectedly, they stepped into a terrible nightmare. After a tiring day, in order to relieve the fatigue of driving, they decided to take a rest in the bar in the town. When they came here, the people in the bar all looked strange, and there was even a strange smell in the house. Just when they were hesitating, fortunately, the boss here looked a bit like him. He quickly made them sit down enthusiastically. They were hungry for a whole day and wanted to order something to eat. But the boss said they didn't have fancy food. There was only a kind of local specialty fried meat skin. The president had no choice but to force the 2 generations to try it because the taste written on the bag was unbelievable. Too touch, too heavy and smelly. Fatty just wanted to take a bite, but the clearly visible hair on it made people feel disgusting. The boss hurried over to explain, saying that these are all homemade local specialties. Looking at the boss's confident face, Fatty took a bite and swallowed it. Only he knew what it tasted like, and even the lemon water they drank was hard to swallow. Fatty saw these abnormal things, so he came to the door to smoke. But at this time, the boss's son suddenly appeared. He stared at Fatty and kept seducing him in a stimulating language. Faced with the provocation of the scumbag, Fatty turned around and walked into the house. Fortunately, the boss saw it in time and stopped the scene. But before they left, the boss left a word of concern. Strange, yes, but just as long as you'll keep to yourself, I don't mean like friendly at all. However, they were confused. What awaited them the next day was the tragedy of the disabled. The next day, they came to the abandoned train station to work as they wished. Just when the boss was collecting the wires, they didn't expect to see a thick smoke coming from the farmhouse not far away. Out of kindness, the boss and Xiao Mei went to check it out. But when they got here, they found a sheep being thrown into the fire alive. The boss has never seen such a cruel method. He hates these perverts, so he and Xiao Mei let go of the other sheep. Just when they were happy for what they had done for themselves, they didn't expect that the sheep had been broken by a car as soon as they got on the road. Then the 2 were caught by the boss's son. The Beast Marquise wanted to use this as an excuse and started to beat Xiao Mei. However, when they felt helpless, a hammer suddenly appeared behind the Beast Marquise and hit him hard on the head. It turned out that the elder sister appeared in time and stopped the Beast Marquis from doing bad things. At this time, the other people heard the sound and rushed over. The Beast Marquis scolded and said he was not convinced and kept provoking the chief. Because the chief could only hold his breath in other people's territory, he had to drive the Beast Marquis away with an iron stick. But while he was driving away, he was accidentally knocked over by something on the ground. It was an iron piece that accidentally pierced his large artery, which caused a cut to the large artery and bleeding. After the 3 Beast Marquis saw it, they didn't feel guilty, but they were happy to take out their contemptuous gestures and left. They had no choice but to find a tow truck and quickly sent the chief to the bar to ask the boss for help. Thus, elder sister wanted to use the phone here to call 120, but the boss said the hospital was far from the town. Even if the ambulance arrived, it would take at least more than an hour. In order to give the chief instructions as soon as possible, the boss placed them in the kitchen. However, when the boss asked what the situation was, he didn't think of Xiao Pang's words, which seemed to make the boss have another thought. The life of the people is important, and the elder sister quickly asked the boss to find a way. In order to alleviate the pain of the captain, the boss raised a kitchen knife without saying a word. A large amount of tomatoes were spilled all over the kitchen in an instant. At the same time, they were also controlled by the boss's men on the spot. Then they were locked in a small, dark room. This sudden murder scared everyone. In order to let them have no regrets, the boss decided to punish them in a special way. He disguised himself as a clown and let the whole village come to See a show of crushing 3 levels.